guys, it's Ashley from Ashley's Got Bookcitement. I'm here with my June wrap-up and my July TBR. Yeah. So I managed to read 7 books in June. Yes! Technically it was the last one I finished on July 1st, but it was like early hours of the morning, so I'm counting that one for June because I can. And I want to. And it makes my number look bigger. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to get to it. First book that I read in June was Game Board of the Gods by Rochelle Mead. I got this one for review from NetGalley. Super excited to read it. And I ended up giving it a 3. It was kind of a wah-wah. I didn't really enjoy it that much. It was very dull, slow-moving, heavy on the details, which sometimes I love and sometimes it's not good, and this was in the kind of it's too boring. Yeah. And I didn't really like the characters that much either. The girl May, she's like this kick-butt soldier, but she's a cold fish. And then the main guy, who I think his name is Justin. I have forgot since I read it so long ago. Yeah, Justin. I didn't really like him either. He was kind of a know-it-all and really into his appearance, which... not saying that that's a bad thing, but sometimes for men it's a little funny when a guy spends a whole bunch of time in front of a mirror. Just, you know, I don't know. But yeah, it came out the beginning of June, so I think June 4th is when it came out. And it wasn't for me. I guess I might see where the series goes because it is a series book. I don't know how many books are going to be in it. But yeah, so that was that one. I then read In Office Hours by Lucy Kellaway. This one ended up getting a 3.5, so it was good. I enjoyed it. It's an adult read, and it was about 2 women who both have affairs at this place that they work. They both work in the same place, and this lady named Stella, she's the boss, and she ends up having an affair with someone lower than her. And then the lady named Bella was a secretary, and she ends up having an affair with her boss. So, yeah. And even though it was like a fair, it was still an enjoyable book. It was very quick because it went from Stella to Bella's perspective, you know, just a very quick flip through read. Do I agree with their decision making? No, it's not smart to have an affair. Not smart. Yeah, but I enjoyed the book. The third one I read is I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella. I ended up giving this book 5 out of 5. I loved it. I love Sophie Kinsella. This one is about a girl whose name escapes me at the moment. It could be Poppy. Is that right? I don't know. Her name escapes me. But she loses her ring when this fire drill occurs in this hotel. And she's panicking, she's trying to find it, and then she ends up losing her cell phone too, and that cell phone is the number that she had just given to all these places to call her when they find her engagement ring. So she steals a phone out of a trash can, she figures finders keepers, and she uses that phone. But that phone belongs to a company. The boss, you know, is calling that phone. Anyway, I'm horrible at explaining things, but Poppy and the boss guy get involved together, and it's just sweet, and it's funny, and I love Sophie Kinsella, and if you haven't read a Sophie Kinsella book, go read that one, or any one of them, really. Yeah, so I loved it. The fourth book that I read is Her Sky Cowboy by Bess Ciota. This was book 1 of the Glorious Victorious Darcys, and I remember showing it to you and being embarrassed because it had one of those types of covers, and I was like, boy howdy, I sure hope this isn't one of those sexy time books. Guys, it was one of those sexy time books. So I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5. I liked half of it, and then the other half I didn't like so much. I wasn't really a fan of all the sexiness, which I guess I should have expected. Dumb me. But the other half was really cool because it's set in this steampunk Victorian London where they have airships. And yeah, it's just really fun. And then they have this cool thing where time travel's a thing. And so people have come back from the future, like the 1970s or 60s, I think. They came back. And so all this new technology got put into this 18th century Victorian time. And some of the people that came back had kids with Victorians, and so yeah, they had these children, and the children have like these weird kaleidoscope eyes and super power kind of things. So that part was really cool. I don't know, I could see where it goes. I might read the second book. I don't know. The fifth book I read was Undone, which is the first book in the Outcast season series by Rachel Kane. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5. It was really fun. It's full of action and, yeah, intense scenes and stuff like that. I was a little confused because it's a spin-off from the Weather Warden series, and I haven't read the Weather Warden series yet. So the world was a little confusing to me, along with these Weather Warden powers and stuff. But it was a very fun book, and I'm going to read more of Rachel Kane's stuff because I liked it. The sixth book that I read was The Hero's Guide to Saving Your Kingdom by Christopher Healy with illustrations by Todd Harris. I ended up giving this book a 4.5 out of 5. I loved it. It was so cute. It was so funny. I really loved all the different princes, Prince Liam, Prince Gustav, Prince Frederick, and Prince Duncan. They were all just tons of fun. And I liked their friendships together and their adventures, and it was just full of humor. It's a middle grade book, and it's a great one. And the reason that I mentioned who the illustrations are by is because they are awesome illustrations. They add so much to the story, I think. And the illustrations have the same humor as the writing does. So definitely go check that one out. And then the last book that I read was Confessions of an Angry Girl by Louise Rosette. I think this is it's a young adult contemporary kind of book, and I ended up giving it a 3. It was okay. It was very short, which it just felt like I flew through it because it was that short. But I don't know. The main character, she was kind of mean, kind of rude to people, and yeah. So what it is this girl, her dad has died in this explosion in Iraq. He went over there as a contractor, and he never came back, and so it's her family is kind of dealing with it and stuff like that. And so I don't think she's so much an angry girl. I think she's a sad girl. She does get angry as the book goes on, but I don't know. I just think I didn't really agree with how old the character was supposed to be. She was supposed to be 14. And this book was just filled with, like, sex, an awkward gynecologist scene, which, what 14-year-old goes to a gynecologist? Am I just out of the loop? Do I not know what high school is anymore? Or, I don't know, I would have thought that maybe she should have been, like, 16 or 17 or something like that, because 14 didn't seem like a believable age for her to be doing all this stuff. Yeah. And she kind of has a crush on this boy who I believe he's a junior, but I think he might be an older junior or something. So you need to be careful there because that could be illegal. Say if he's like 18 and the girl is 14, that's illegal. That's all I'm going to say. But I got that one from NetGalley too, and I felt bad that I never reviewed it. And I am going to read Confessions of an Almost Girlfriend, which is the second book in that series, probably pretty soon. So that is it for the books that I read in June. Sorry for my long-windedness and bad explanations, but that's part of my charm. Now I'm going to do a kind of short TBR, July TBR. I don't know if I'm going to read all these books. It's not set in stone. It's maybe. So first, definite Fear. I'm definitely going to read Fear. 5th book in the Gone series. Then Flesh and Bone by Jonathan Mayberry. This is the 3rd book in the Rotten Ruin series. And I read Rotten Ruin and it was okay. And then I read Dust and Decay and I loved it. And the ending tore me apart. And so I'm excited to see what happens in Flesh and Bone. Then London Eye by Tim LeBon. This is book 1 of Toxic City. Short. I'm excited to see what it's like. Then Changeling by Philippa Gregory. This is book 1 in the Order of Darkness. This is her first foray into young adults. She writes a lot of adult fiction. So yeah, excited to see this. Then Leviathan by Scott Westerfield, because it's about time that I read this book since I've had it out from the library forever, and they probably want it back, as with the rest of the books I have checked out. But yeah. And then Angel Fire by L.A. Weatherly. This book's huge. Huge, 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 huge. But this is the second book, sequel to Angel Burn, and I'm excited to see what happens. And then I might read some more review books on my Kindle because I keep requesting books, which is bad. But yeah, that is my June wrap-up, my July TBR. Tell me if you film these things, because I like watching them. So leave me comments if you want to, like the video, those are always appreciated, and subscribe if you haven't already. So yeah, I'll see you later, guys. Bye.